on the deployment of the part. So the Honourable Premier was given that opportunity to engage the Provincial Executive Committee on his decision to resign as a member of the ANC and as a deployee of the ANC. It is our view as the PEC that there's an interministerial committee that is busy with the processes to find a solution to the challenges that our province is facing. Until this IMC has reported back and its report has been exhausted within the movement, there is no reason for the Premier to step down now. And we also respect the views of the Premier that he has been consulting the leadership, myself as the acting secretary, and the Secretary General's office. The ANC PEC in Bukone-Bophirima will continue consultations with the NEC and all relevant stakeholders on this matter. The PEC extensively reflected on the matter and all the issues and resolved that Premier Supra Mahumapelo must take a leave and allow the ministerial tax team to proceed with the processes. In the meantime, must appoint an acting premier. The PEC also mandated the Provincial Working Committee to meet with the national officials as soon as possible as part of the engagement and consultations. It is therefore appropriate for the PEC, after its meeting, to retract a statement issued on Tuesday night on behalf of the PEC, accepting Supra's decision, Comrade Supra Mahumapelo's decision to exit his deployment from the position. We regret the inconvenience caused by the last night's statement, which would have ideally waited until the PEC had met like it did today. Since the pronouncements or the comments by the Premier and the media statement issues, we have been receiving many calls, we have seen branches outside the venue. We did not sleep. We had to explain, we had to engage, because it is their view that the structures, before that kind of a pronouncement can be made as an organizational process, they should have been engaged or they should have been informed. They are fully aware that it's not within their mandate to appoint a premier, but ordinarily the structure must inform them if there's any decision that has been made, and we have briefed our branches, and as the PEC directed, we will meet with the national officials. Engos.
All right. Now we'll take questions. You must introduce yourself, the media house that you are representing, so that you must know each other. For some of you, it's for the first time I see you. Ndate, News 24. Yeah. News Note, SABC. Oh, yes. Can
you please take us into your confidence and the nation and give us the name of this acting premier? If there is no name as yet, who will decide on its name? Will it be national, or will it be through consultation with yourselves as a PEC? And then the last question would be, since the Premier decided to resign last night without informing you as a structure, in the legislature he made some remarks that he would be sending a letter to you in your capacity as the Speaker of the Legislature. What letter will he be sending now? Will he be sending a letter seeking for leave or a resignation letter? Thank you.
Thank you. Samkelo.
Can you table the question then we'll respond?
I prefer to do it this way.
Okay.
Samkelo, you'll know that in terms of the Constitution of the Republic, the powers of appointing the MECs and the acting of the MECs is the responsibility of the Premier. The Premier will appoint the acting Premier by using his powers as the Premier. He has not yet resigned, so we have not directed him. In terms of the letter to the Speaker, as the Premier was debating in the House and engaging with the media houses after the budget speech. Chess. The Premier said he is intending to submit that letter to the Speaker. But who you are interviewing today and now is the acting Provincial Secretary of the ANC. I will avoid at all costs to confuse the two roles deployed by the ANC. If the media wants to engage the Speaker of the Legislature on matters of the resignation or any other matter, the Speaker will respond as the Speaker. I will really humbly request you that let's focus on the ANC matters. We can later deal with legislature issues. Because I'm presenting the statement of the ANC, not the statement of the legislature.
The next one.
Sorry.
It's you.
Thank you. TV from News 24. Ma'am Susan, I know you spoke now about the error in sending out a statement, but I suppose it's also asking you to take us into your confidence in the thinking of the ANC PEC in the province. What was the thinking then, apprehensively accepting something that you knew you wouldn't fully agree with because you wasn't instructed to do it? Secondly, what is the message that this PEC is communicating to what we've seen in the province, in this town, where people have been protesting? I do know that the chairperson of the ANC says, there are people behind that. However, for us, as outsiders, we're hearing residents say they don't want Supra Mahumapelo. What is the PEC communicating with this decision to its people? And thirdly, how do you position yourself then with the ANC? You are in an ANC where some have said the ANC did want Supra to step down, and here you are saying otherwise. I do know you're going to engage with them, but what are you actually communicating? Thank you.
On the error of the statement, let me start with that one. The PEC is the highest decision-making body in the province in terms of the constitution of the ANC. The PSO is running the organization organizationally and politically in the meantime. But once the PEC met and took a decision, we have to do what we have done. We responded to that statement because immediately after the comments of the Honorable Premier, I called the Premier and I engaged the Premier. And we could not by then just kept quiet and not responding. But the PEC meeting that took place today corrected the statement to say, we are the highest decision-making body. This is our decision. So there's no contradictions on that. And on the issues that has been happening around Mahikeng and other parts of the province, we have been saying it for many times, and we have been issuing many statements to say, even if our communities are not happy in regard to service delivery issues or whatever issues, there are processes within government that must be followed. We have board committees, we have councillors, we have members of parliament, we have MECs that must be engaged. We can't resort to looting that we have seen happening in Mahikeng. And we have also requested and pleaded with our communities that let there be calm and allow the President Ministerial Tax Team to deal with those issues. And as the ANC, we fully support the Ministerial Tax Team as sent by the President, and we are hopeful that they will resolve the issues. But at the same time, there is no way that as members of the public protesting on service delivery issues, at the same time, foreign shops will be looted. That one alone can clearly indicate to you that in addition to whatever service delivery issues, there were elements of criminality that we condemned at the strongest terms, and we appealed to police to do their part and make sure that whoever was involved on the part of criminal actions, the law must take its course.
Mahikeng.
My name is Mahikeng from Acting Provincial Secretary, still on that, those who were involved in the violent protest. The provincial chairperson said those who were involved are from Revolutionary Council and they will be taken through ANC disciplinary hearing. Have you identified those individuals? And then also he mentioned that Mahikeng local municipality has launched has taken legal action against those people who were behind a violent protest. So, do you welcome that decision also? And lastly, how long will the Premier be on leave? Thank you.
As the African National Congress, the PEC welcomed and is our decision that it's not a secret. You interview them yourselves. They confirmed that they are behind all that is happening during that era of the protest, the Revolutionary Council. The decision was taken today. Obviously, we don't want to paint everybody with the same brush. The ANC will embark on its own process first to identify these comrades, if indeed they are members of the ANC. It's easy to verify that. You check with the branches of the ANC, the regions of the ANC, and the provincial office through the organizing team, because all the files of the membership of the ANC, Mpekwa House is the custodian of those files. So whoever is a member of the ANC, we have their names and their forms in Mpekwa House. We are not just going to take people to DC. We are going to verify first if indeed those people are members of the ANC. As for the issue of Mahikeng municipality, there's a loss. There's a lot of money to repair whatever that was damaged. Indeed, we support the decision of Mahikeng to make sure that the law takes its course.
How long will the Premier be on leave?
The Premier will be on leave, as I've said before, to allow consultation processes to continue, to allow the ministerial tax team to do their part. As soon as the organization has finalized the matter, then will be directed by the organization. And earlier on, I've also said the PwC will meet and engage and consult the national officials very soon. Till such a time, there's a decision that this is what must happen. That is what and how the ANC works and operates.
Bichoko.
Remy from News Agency. Question number 1, is the Premier's leave effective immediately? Question number 2, how long should we wait before the name of the acting Premier is announced? Question number 3, had the Premier maybe spoken to the PEC before saying that as of today noon he will no longer be the Premier of the Northwest? Would it have made a difference before announcing it by consulting the PEC? Question number 4, did the Premier announce as to why he announced that he is resigning last night? Are there any reasons as to why he had to resign last night and today is a different story?
Thank you. As for the leave, effectively, immediately or not, we have taken a decision as the PEC that the Premier must be on leave. The Premier must appoint the acting Premier. We'll take it from there. We did not even put time frames for him. For when do we do that? Therefore, I cannot say the Premier immediately is on leave. We did not put a time frame. We'll still hear from him. Agri is the Premier of the province. Now we deployed him. He's also guided by the Constitution of the Republic. As for the reasons why the Premier has taken that posture during the budget vote, His main reason was that it cannot be that there are some losses of life. At the same time, the Revolutionary Council and other people are blaming him for that, forgetting that there was a strike by the civil servants. Because if there are no medicines in hospitals, obviously losing a life is not something that you can avoid. 2, he said to the PEC, as a disciplined member of the African National Congress, he was doing that for the African National Congress, understanding Rule 4 of the ANC. I'll give you the Constitution. You'll go through the Rule 4.
Relax.
Hi, Steve Sister from the Star newspaper. I understand that you seem to say that the PEC will, of course, meet up with the NEC, and you said very soon. Do you have a specific date exactly when is soon?
For the PEC to say the PwC must meet with the national officials very soon is because we are not in control of the schedule of the national officials. We will await a confirmation of such meeting from the national officials. Ours is to put a request. Thank you.
I'm going to take the last 3 hands, and then we are done. Samkelo, News Note. News 24, you are the last. You are the last.
I can start.
You can start.
Okay, my question would be, was the Premier forced to issue out a resignation on Tuesday? And if he was forced, does that question come from Luthuli House, and specifically Cyril Ramaphosa? And then lastly, the last question, about the Premier being on leave, and you guys not issuing out a leave of the acting Premier. Is it because you are still divided over the Deputy Chairman, Silo Lihare, and Wendy Nelson, who is a close ally of the Premier? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Firstly, let me correct you as a citizen of South Africa. There's no Cyril. There's President Cyril. We must respect our president. The Premier, for making those comments of resignation, he was not under duress, not at all. He did that on his own will. I'm saying that because the same question was asked by some of the PEC members in the meeting. In fact, it happened the other way around. The PEC forced the Premier to say, you cannot decide to resign without us blessing that resignation. When we met as the PEC, he still insisted that he's ready to leave as soon as the PEC meeting was adjourned. But the PEC told him that it's not about you, it's about the ANC. You did not deploy yourself. So he was not forced by anybody. And President Cyril Ramaphosa, I want to put it on record, never at any stage forced or called the Premier to say, you must resign. He has never done so. On the issue of the allegations that you are making in regard to Comrade Nelson and Comrade Lihari, those are your views. As the PEC, we are a very united PEC. Having dissenting views or different views in an organization, it's healthy. We are a political organization. And I want to put it on record. There is nothing like there's an intention or whatever about the Premier to make sure whether Ntatele Hari or Nelson is acting. That's your view. I think the table with me here, they'll agree with me. we are hearing about it for the first time. There is no such. It has never happened. It was not even discussed in the PEC meeting.
Can you just clarify the issue here, interministerial committee, whether they have completed their investigations? And there were rumors that the NWC has recommended that the Premier must resign based on the investigations done by the interministerial committee. And on the house issue, we know the situation at our hospitals. The government was forced to bring SANDF medical team, but surely they cannot stay here forever. Have you ever engaged with NEHAU? Because they said on the 16th of May, there will be a national shutdown here in the province. So do you have any ways on resolving those issues?
On the issue of the ministerial task team completing their job in the Northwest, let me remind you, we are interviewing the African National Congress. We are not interviewing government. The interministerial team is in government, not in the ANC. They account to the cabinet led by President Cyril Ramaphosa. I don't even want to attempt to respond on that because I don't have any mandate to do that. On the issue of the NWC decision for the Premier to resign, the NWC, through the spokesperson, Comrade Pulemabe, issued a statement, and I'm 100% sure that you have read that statement. In that statement, there is no part or a sentence that talks to the Premier of Bokoni Bophirima resigning as a decision of the NWC. It's something that we hear from you from the media. As the structures of the ANC, there is no decision to instruct the Premier of Bokoni Bophirima to resign. On the issue of NEHAU, yes, as the organization, we are concerned because we are the leader of society. We are concerned because we are ANC, we are government. Everybody is looking at us. Whatever is happening, our people, the society is looking at the African National Congress. It is also our view that the ministerial task team, as they are dealing with these matters, they must assist the province to make sure that all those issues and engagements with NEHAU are resolved very soon so that we avoid loss of lives. And I'm fully aware also that there's a team from the province led by Ntatele Hari as the MEC.
Well, let's cross now live to the Free State where a cabinet reshuffle is taking place. Premier Sizin Tombela is speaking. Let's listen in.